Hey guys, I just want to follow up on Zain Habib's video the other day regarding Albert Falls. Zain showed some really interesting stuff. He caught some beautiful fish on a very key spot. I think it's a spot that Roy Cannon capitalized on a number of years back and won himself the Albert Falls tournament, if I'm open to correction, but I seem to recall that was the spot. But it was really interesting seeing how Zain broke that down for himself. And guys, please remember, each person is going to utilize the charts in their own unique way. And, Zain just picked so many boxes. Geez, I didn't realize how South Africans have improved over the years with regard to, in fact, not improved, have become the world leaders in reading charts. I'm not talking about your navigation charts. I'm sure there's sailors and whatnot around the world that navigate from continent to continent that do some really and truly amazing things. I'm talking about fishing, guys. I'm not talking about navigation, okay? I'm talking about how do guys use charts for fishing. Let's be honest, as far as the rest of the world goes, it's pretty much a case of what is available to them, and they are doing the best with what they have. Your typical chart, your contour chart is your minor contours, your major contours, and the guys work around that, and that is the majority of what the guys use. But as you guys know, here in South Africa, we have FishTec HD fishing charts, by far the world leaders when it comes to inland waters, and predominantly I'm talking about the mosaics here. So what is the first and most basic mosaic that we use? And of course it is satellite. Satellite is the most basic one. We go back, you'll see now why didn't the satellite come up. We go to our chart options, we go to our photo overlay, and we say land only, and there we've now got a satellite imagery around the lake. This is something that other cartographers use and other brands have available, including Lawrence, where you have a satellite imagery around the lake or whatever, the dam or whatever. But what happens when you go to an interesting spot, something that's key? I mean, that is something, this is what Zain was talking about, and it really and truly is a key bit of structure here. But I want to expand further on what Zain was saying. Let's see if we change our, I'm going to go back here to our photo overlay. We see we've got on land only. If we go full, what you're going to see happen is the colors will disappear and just the contours will be left behind. And this is on top of the satellite imagery. And as you can see, it's extremely accurate. Okay, you can see from the satellite imagery there is a ditch there, there's a channel running in there, it's obviously a man-made little channel, there's a road there and what have you. But while we're talking about this road where I'm dropping the cursor at the moment, is be very, very careful. This is why you need so many different charts. As you can see here, we've got satellite, accept T's and C's, elevation, ultra HF, mosaic, aerial, there's just so much, okay? I want to warn you, this road that we're talking about here, and this is, make no mistake, this is a road, okay? It's a man-made road. If you go to your sediment, that road is not there. So to the guys, I know a lot of guys have come back and said, listen, all I need is the sediment chart. The sediment charts are fantastic, and I agree with you. They are fantastic. There is so much critical information. But guys, something as important as this road, I mean, this road is a highway for those big fish. This is a highway for them. Okay, they use it to travel along, not necessarily on the middle like a car would, but they would use the edges, they would use their transition area and whatnot. While we're talking about the transition area, let's have a look what that transition area actually looks like. The easiest way to see this transition area is the very first photograph I took of Albert Falls was number one. Okay, now what does this road look like if you were taking a photograph from the ground? Okay, can you see there? You can clearly see it is a man-made little road. It's a gravel road and it's got like a little rocky edge to it. But guys, look in the background. That is probably a view the guys my age might never see again of Albert Falls. That is before it got grown over with this long 6 years of drought that we got. So when I took these key photographs, and guys, please go and look at these first photographs that I took, because there's some really key information here before it got grown over. So if we go to, let's say, then there was number 2, we go to 2, I think, there we go. You see, we zoom in there. You see, guys, look at the type of transition that you're fishing here. On the right hand side of your screen, you've obviously got this gravel road that somebody built, and then it's got like a little bit of a rocky edge to it, and then you've got this clay to the left. This transition area with this little rocky line, I believe, is very important. And guys, I've obviously had feedback from many people before saying, John, that transition area that is highlighted in your chart is absolutely critical, and we have found some amazing fish along this road. Guys, once again, I mean, just look at that view. You'll never see that again, possibly, eh? Well, at least maybe not in my lifetime. Let's go up a number there, 21. This is now looking back the other way. I'm looking down towards the water, and you can see how it's slightly raised because of it being more of a gravelly, slatey type of road, and then transitioning off to the clay on the side. So yeah, use these panoramic images. They're accessible, as you've seen what I've done now, they're accessible directly off the chart, like what I've done now. It's very, very easy to use. Okay. And then, of course, what I just said about the sediment, you need to use a combination of all the charts. I mean, if you take this aerial HD, if we go to the very first accept T's and C's, this is before I even learned how to create mosaics with the drone. And you can see these were the early days when the clay just first started growing. You can see the little greens just starting to come through there. I mean, if you go and look at that now, those are just massive trees. But guys, just because there's massive trees there, it doesn't mean that this road isn't there anymore. This road is still very much there. It's going to run through the trees. So when everybody else is just fishing the trees in general, you can go with your FishTec chart and go and target this road in amongst the trees. So you're going to be on the spot, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this is when it started to grow a bit, and then it went dry again, and it died again, and oh, it's been up and down. But this is completely overgrown now. There's quite huge trees that, yeah, I suppose we can call them trees now. It's become really overgrown. So yeah, the other thing to keep in mind is Zane mentioned something very important. He said on the sediments, watch out for these little red marks. Now you see here, you see this red mark here, it says trough. Okay, if we zoom into that and we go to your aerial HD, there it is there. If we go back there, you can see to the left there's something there. We don't know what that is because it's not labeled, but we can clearly see that it's a foundation when we change back to aerial HD and we go back there. But guys, you can clearly see that is a feeding trough of some sort. Unfortunately, the photograph, the panoramic imagery, didn't quite get it. It just, and then the water, when I took this series of 214s into the 300s, obviously this was the water level here, where it's just covering this big foundation on the left. And the foundation that I'm talking about, of course, that was now just covered by water, is this foundation here. You see how it's got those long lines across it. If we go back to 214, we have a look at 214, you can just see those lines in your far left of the screen in the water. Okay, so this is quite valuable information. There's a lot of foundations here. Again, bang back to your sediment, you see bits of red. The red means it's man-made structure that is there. Zane has spoken about this several occasions, saying, guys, watch out for this type of thing, and he was 100% correct in what he was saying there. So guys, like Zane was saying, use your different layers, your Ultra HF, use your Mosaic, whatever you identify. he dropped a major tip when he was talking about this chart. He said, when you identify something on the chart as something you want to fish, create a waypoint, but begin the waypoint with the clue letter of the chart you need to switch to. So if it's elevation, you will then go to your elevation chart and you'll say, right, we need to use the elevation chart here for let's say you want to drop a waypoint on that. You see you've identified this wall as something quite key. You like to use the elevation chart rather. So let's say this is waypoint 320. So you will put EL 320. So you'll drop that in there. You hit your little flag button and you'll cause, let's do that. Take that away, and we'll call that EL 320, for example. Enter. And then obviously that's a little foundation. It's got a ledge on it, so we're going to use that little ledge icon there, and we're going to say save. Now you've got EL 320. Now you know, if you're on satellite for some other reason, and you see this EL 320, what does that mean? That means you need to go to your charts. You need to go to elevation chart. And that's your waypoint, and that was what you identified as your key structure. And so it applies to Ultra HF. Obviously that was too low there. The Mosaic, would you see it there? Yes, there we go, you can see it there. If that's better for you, you can use that, obviously. Mosaic 2019, did that cover it? It did, but not so well. Guys, 2019, watch out, it was very much of a transition year. There was a lot of weeds growing here, and it was the very first fully autonomous side scan Mosaic, and I hadn't quite got it dialed in yet, but obviously, as you guys know, that is all sorted now, and really got some great information coming from I mean, look at that. When you change over to your aerial HD, things just really pop. There's obviously some tires, whether the guys have moved it now or not, I'm not sure, but yeah, key information. Remember to use all the various charts on your screen. Guys, that's it. I hope that helps, and once again I'd just like to mention Zain Habib and just say thank you very much for the videos that you are doing. I'm getting tremendous feedback from the guys thanking you for your information and obviously bringing business to FishTec, and we really appreciate that. Guys, go out, use your charts, spend your time at home, study them, and hit the water and have fun.